Well, hello everyone, Dan Toman here. In this video we're going to talk about a housekeeping management topic. That's going to be forecasting for your consumption items and ordering appropriately. So when I say consumption items, I'm specifically talking about non-linen and non-terry items. So those items that our guests are consuming throughout any given month that we keep stocked in our room attendant closets, in our storage room, and in our public area cleaner closets. Okay? So when we order, you've always got to keep in mind that inventory of consumable items, whether it's going to be food items, items for our retail stores, or housekeeping items that we're going to use to stock our public area spaces as well as our guest rooms, guest bathrooms, you have to look at that as dollars and cents that are sitting on a shelf, okay? When we order, it's important that you're actually looking at the forecast of what we're going to do for occupied rooms for the period that you're putting the order in for. Now, this might seem really basic, but typically speaking, if you don't think about it this way, you're going to just go to your closets, or not even go to your closets. You're going to simply look at what you have budgeted and order what you think you're going to use. Okay? There needs to be some thought process put behind this, and we're going to need to break out our calculator and do some good old hard mathematics. Okay? So what you're going to look at, if you're ordering for the coming month, or if you order twice a month or whatever, you're going to look at the forecasted occupied room nights for the period that's going to be in question here. So let's just say, and you can think of a couple different products for purposes of this. Okay, laundry supplies are one thing, and that's just having a feel for your operation a little bit more, and then referring to cost per occupied room with our purchasing program. However, if we're going to think, well, let's just take two products for example. Let's take toilet paper for guest rooms, and let's take shampoos for guest rooms. And then what else could we talk about in guest rooms? We could talk about facial tissues. Let's talk about those three things in particular. Forget two things. Let's talk about three things for examples. So, toilet tissue. Depends on the type of hotel you have. And the type of guests that you serve at your hotel. So if you're talking a hotel that caters more towards leisure travelers that could have more children, families, you're going to go through a roll of toilet paper in those guest rooms considerably quicker than if you're a hotel that focuses more on business travelers. Okay? And it all goes down to the quantity of people that are in the guest room that are using that product. And then also the length of stay at your hotel. Some hotels have considerably different lengths of stay in their off-season than they do in their peak season. Some hotels have different lengths of stay during the week than they do on weekends. There's a lot of different things to talk about here, okay? When you're when you're ordering for consumption, you're going to take history into account a little bit, okay? So you're going to look at what you did maybe the prior year, same period, but that's not always accurate. So take that with a grain of salt, because you may have last year, the hotel may have had a giant group in this month that took 500 room nights, whereas in this same month this year, that group may not have rebooked. That's why history is important, but really forecasted occupied room nights are far more important when we're talking about ordering for consumption and not ordering to simply stock shelves in our housekeeping department. So back to that roll of toilet paper. If you've got a family, you've got mostly families and leisure travelers that stay at your hotel, or your weekend business is considerably higher than normal, you might get 2 occupied room nights out of that roll of toilet paper. Okay? I think if you got a bunch of families, that's probably pretty optimistic, even getting 2 room nights out of that roll of toilet paper. Okay? But if you're a hotel that does far more business travelers, you could easily get 3, 4 occupied room nights out of that roll of toilet paper. Okay? Now when we talk about shampoo, look at me. Am I really the guy to talk about shampoo? Anyways, When we talk about shampoo, unless you got a bunch of guys like me in your hotel, and you're not ever going to go through shampoo. When we talk about shampoo, though, it's an item that usually gets consumed with every room night, okay? Or I mean with every stay, I should say. So, based on your length of stay, if you're a hotel that does primarily very short stays, one room night or between 1 to 2, if you do 1.25 average room nights in a month, or 1.5 even, that means every stay, every checkout, you're going to change that shampoo bottle because you're not going to leave a used shampoo bottle in the shower, okay? So, but if you're doing a longer length of stay, you're going to get more nights out of that one shampoo bottle probably, all right? Unless you're a hotel that's got a water park or something, or a pool that all the guests go to. That's the main attraction. Then there's going to be more washing of hair more likely, all right? Now when we talk about the facial tissue box, you know, that thing is that's a weird one. It's going to go a lot longer than a roll of toilet paper. A lot longer, okay? Because there's plenty of guests that don't ever even touch the thing. When you go and order, you actually need to go count things on shelves, all right? You're not just going to say, oh, I'm pretty sure I got this over there. I'm pretty sure I've got that over in that section. Actually go look at your shelves, okay? And count. Now this doesn't mean taking out every single shampoo bottle. This means, okay, a case has 300 shampoos in it, a flat within a case has 100 shampoos in it, or whatever your product has. I know my boxes of toilet tissue have 96 in them. I know my boxes of facial tissue have 30 in them. You're just gonna bung, 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 make yourself a little spreadsheet for your hotel. It's got all of your products, your consumable products, and then all of your housekeeping section, your section closets, and then your main storage area, wherever you keep items. And then just so that you can just take it and inventory. Okay, I've got three cases of toilet, 3.5 cases of toilet paper here, 350 rolls, boom. I've got this here, boom, 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 and then you've got totals at your bottom. And then you're going to look at it against your occupied room nights for the period. Usually you're going to order for a month. You might do a follow-up order at the end of the month, okay? But you're going to take what you've got on hand in your hotel, on your carts, in your storage rooms, in your main storage area, your room attendant closets. If you've got housekeeping vans, if you do cabins or things like that, you want to take a look at what's sitting in your vans as well. And then you're going to order for what you actually need. Because remember, those are dollars sitting on shelves, folks. The more items you have sitting around, also, the more items there are that can walk off. All right? Keep that in mind as well. All right? So we're going to order for what we need, not what we think we need, not what we want. We're going to order for what we're actually going to consume. Remember, unless you're in a super remote location, most of our preferred vendors that we use will deliver more than once a month. Oftentimes they will deliver at a minimum of once a week. Some will do far even more than once a week. We'll do twice a week. Some do on demand, so with a minimum order. So you're going to keep in mind that. But the moral of the story is this: order for what you're going to consume. Don't order for more. You can always get more. You know, think about those things with a long lead time as well. Think about those brand required items if you have a brand that should you run out of something, you can't just go to a nearby hotel and get a substitute. So those are going to be kind of priority items when you're ordering as well. All right. That's about it for that, folks. I appreciate your time. Products sitting on shelves or dollars sitting on shelves, and we certainly more like to show those dollars hit our statement and have them tied up in expenses if they don't need to. Order for the period, not for beyond that. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.